Yes, we were separated.
It's finally been announced. Janelle has left Kody once and for all.
We've been separated for several months.
What?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, even though I was extremely hopeful for it, I didn't think this was something that was going to be happening anytime soon, but I don't want to waste any time, so let's get into it. It seems like this entire season of Sister Wives has left everyone wondering when Janelle was going to leave Kody, because it seemed pretty much inevitable at this point.
I'm not saying we're not building out there. I'm saying we're simply just buying an asset.
He's horrible to their children together.
Because they're trying to put the heat onto me for what's been going on here.
He even forgot her son's birthday.
He tried to call me back, tell me happy birthday and make up for it.
He refuses to speak to them unless they apologize to Robin.
And that's the last time I ever talked to my dad.
And it honestly seemed like they barely spent time together anymore. After Janelle moved to the RV, Kody pretty much refused to go over there, but there was one thread hanging on that had us all thinking that she hadn't left yet, and that was her finances, because the truth is, the way that the Brown family had handled their finances over the last few years is truly one of the strangest things ever, and it seems like it was the only thing holding back Janelle from leaving. It all started when they all moved to Flagstaff. They took the money from selling all of their houses in Las Vegas and put it into Coyote Pass and Robin and Christine's houses, and I will truly never understand why they did this for multiple reasons, mostly because I don't understand why Robin got a $1 million mansion while Janelle was left with nothing, but also because it left Mary and Janelle renting, which means that they would technically have no assets of their own if they ever wanted to leave. And that's exactly what happened, because when Christine left, she owned her house, and yes, the family put their shared money into the down payment, but she was making the payments every month, so she sold the house and kept the profits and let the rest of the family have her interest in Coyote Pass, and it was clearly a pretty easy and clear break. And it was later revealed that on this season that this was Janelle's advice to Christine years ago, which had me thinking that Janelle was working up to do the same thing before leaving Kody, and she might actually still be doing that, but I'll get into that in just a second, because Christine revealed on this season of Sister Wives that she wanted to leave Kody years ago, but when she told Janelle that, Janelle told her that she needed to get her finances in order if she wanted to leave, so she spent years doing exactly that, and I just assumed that Janelle was doing the same thing until they released the preview of the new season of Sister Wives with the crazy announcement from both Kody and Janelle that they were separated. But that's where my new theory comes in, because Kody made the very clear distinction that he and Christine are divorced, but he and Janelle are just separated, and had a lot of people wondering, myself included, what could that possibly mean? And I thought about it for a while, and I think that I might have the answer, because first of all, we have the fact that he wasn't legally married to either of these women in the first place. In a normal legal marriage, you separate first and then you're divorced once all the legal paperwork has gone through, and that's obviously not the case here. So then you have the actual relationships. Maybe Kody said that he's divorced from Christine because their marriage is actually legitimately over, but with Janelle, they're still trying to work on their relationship, but they're just taking some space from each other. And I guess it is technically possible, but there was that interview a few months back where Christine made that strange comment about Janelle still speaking to Kody, which isn't exactly something you'd say about people who are in a happy relationship, and we know that that wasn't the case. But if they are still on speaking terms, maybe that's what the separation means, that they're trying to work things out, and I just don't know if I buy that. I mean, after everything we've seen this season, with how badly Kody's treated Janelle and their kids, not to mention all the seasons before that, it's pretty obvious this season that Janelle was done with Kody, or at least I think we all hope she was after how badly he treated her entire family. And I personally can't imagine her watching that clip of Gabe and how upset he was about Kody forgetting his birthday and being able to forgive Kody, and she said it herself, if it was between Kody and her kids, she'd choose her kids. So I just don't see them coming back from that, and if they were trying to work it out at one point, I think it's safe to say that that's just not the case anymore, which brings me to my theory. I really think that the distinction between separated and divorced in this case is just the finances. Kody seems to want nothing to do with Janelle romantically, lately, and Janelle seems to be over it too. So the only thing that would make sense is if they were trying to figure out how to divide up the assets, because think about it, Janelle was a major provider for this family for 30 years, and you would think that she'd be entitled to a huge portion of the family's assets. Even if she didn't own a house, she was the one making money for all these people for all these years, and because we all know that Robyn definitely wasn't. So if I had to guess, the difference between separation and divorce in this situation is that Janelle and Kody's split is a lot more difficult to figure out financially than Kody and Christine's was, especially if the family has no money saved, which is starting to seem more and more like the case. I mean, they'd have nothing else to sell to pay her off besides Robyn's house in Coyote Pass. And I think we all know about the theory going around about Coyote Pass, but if you don't, let me get you up to speed. Because according to someone on TikTok, the Browns have some weird loan on Coyote Pass where if they don't have it paid off by 2023, they're going to lose the entire property. And I'm assuming all the money they put into it, and we're obviously looking down the barrel at 2023 right now, which means if they don't sell it soon, they'll probably lose one of their last remaining assets, and Robyn would have to sell her $1 million mansion, which definitely wouldn't be a bad thing, but I can't imagine that she'd be too happy about that, especially now that we know that Meri and Kody are over too, which isn't exactly a shock. If anything, it's a shock that Meri's finally accepting it. But this would mean that they would have to split up the rest of their family assets 4 ways, which is going to be a huge difference in income for Robyn and Kody. I mean, they're so used to their lifestyle without working, especially Robyn, that I can't imagine that that's going to go over well. And you have to wonder what this all means for the show. If Kody and Robyn are in a monogamous marriage and all the other wives are gone, this isn't a show about sister wives anymore. If I had to guess, they'll probably do a spin-off show about everyone's lives after divorce, similar to Counting On after 19 Kids and Counting ended, because I don't think there's ever been another time where everyone was so invested in these people and what's going on with them, and now we finally have the confirmation that everyone's wanted for years. Everyone finally left Kody and Robyn's narcissism behind. But what do you think of all this mess? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to hear what everyone thinks about everyone finally calling it quits, especially Janelle.